Get ready as we'll talk with all the players and coaches from the area about everything winter sports. The Monday Night Sports Talk Show is brought to you by our title sponsor, Griffin Insurance, as well as Buckeye Stoves, Page One Group, and Papa John's. Now, here's Tyler Mathias live on WMVO Radio, Facebook, and YouTube.
All right, welcome in. It's the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, and we are back after a 2-week hiatus for the holidays, for Christmas and New Year's, and we're back at it here tonight. And we've got East Knox and Danville boys basketball on the program, and looking forward to chatting with them about their season, what's coming up as we're now into the new year. And believe it or not, once you get into this point, you've got about 5 weeks until tournament draw, or maybe even less than that, about a month until tournament draw. And then it gets into tournament play. So this can go really quick, and we're looking forward to catching up with Danville and East Knox. And we appreciate Matt Proper for joining us, the boys basketball coach for Danville, Carson Proper, Ashton Spalding, and Wesley Payne. Thank you guys for joining us here on the program tonight. Well, Matt, of course, you've been on this show before. I think all these guys at some point been on this show, but you were the girls' coach for a number of years there at Danville. What prompted you to decide, hey, I'm going to jump into this, be the boys' coach at Danville, and tell us a little bit about the process that went into that, and a little about this season so far?
Yeah, I love the game of basketball, so took a year off there, just kind of just watching these guys here and support them just from the stands, and then the position came open. I thought, maybe we can get something turned around here. It's been a long run since basketball-wise at Danville. We've had some, success. And really have never had sustained success. I think 2013 we won a district championship.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I think 50 years almost since the league championship.
Oh, wow.
So, I told them, kind of living vicariously through them, I want, to enjoy their success, that I can never really get. So, we have great kids at Danville.
Yeah.
So it wasn't easy just to get back into the coaching.
Yeah.
I was a little hesitant because I thought, okay, maybe being with girls, the boys would be a little too fast for me. Maybe the game would pass, but it's all good. So they're working hard and improving every day. So it's been a lot of fun. Yeah,
well, you got an opportunity. You're going to close out the first half of the conference schedule on Friday night against the East Knox Bulldogs, and you look at Ashton's wearing that jacket. It says football there on there, but you think about Danville, and initially what you think about is football. And how do you take a school that's predominantly known for football and trying to turn it into what you're trying right now to make him a competitor for a league title and somebody who can maybe make a run in the district tournament?
Yeah, so from Danville, played football, obviously a big part of my high school career, and basketball. So, I think you have to take, from coaching standpoint, some of the skills that, and some of the mentality and philosophies that go into our football program, and they've had that success for years, and just try to incorporate that into your basketball program. And some of those, that aggressive approach and attacking both ends of the floor, and things like that. Use that athleticism, using that kind of hard-nosed mentality. Just let it translate to the basketball floor. So I think they've done that so far. I think it's worked out well so far.
So what do you guys run? Do you run something similar to maybe what the girls ran or anything? What do you run there at Danville offensively and defensively?
Yeah, defensively we're looking to transition, push it.
Yeah,
a lot of
I think a lot of people like to do that anymore.
And they've come a long way with that. I think that's a little different than what they've done in the past. So, and that's part of this kind of learning and growing. But that's a stat we keep our eye on, those transition points, and that's improving week to week. And then defensively, a lot of that pressure up front too, and hopefully that defense can create a lot of our offense. And it's same thing, it's improving every week as well. So, but from a half court standpoint, it's just using our athleticism, kind of that read and react offense, and let them be the athletes and that they are, and let them play in a very unselfish team. They assist wise, we're far ahead of our opponents game to game. Comparing assists, so. It's a lot of fun to watch and coach.
Yeah. For a player perspective, Ashton, in having a coach here, what has maybe been the biggest difference from last season to this season, and what you've seen with this group? I'll pull that mic a little closer to you, too, so Gary doesn't come in and yell at me.
I think the biggest difference is probably the mentality. Like Coach Proper came in with, tough, rugged, hard-nosed mentality. Like we're gonna in a kind of football way, but
Yeah.
we're gonna wear you down,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have to try and get up and beat us.
Yeah.
In the past few years, we didn't really have that, so
Yeah.
it's been I think of it as a good change
Yeah.
because it's good for the younger kids too. You could see it through all the way down to, because I officiate the little kids. You
Yeah.
see it in there.
Yeah.
They do the same thing as us, so
Yeah.
it translates.
Yeah. When I played basketball, that's what Coach always told us. He said, you're going to run a lot right now, but they're going to be tired at the end of the game, and you're not. And obviously, there is a difference, and you know how it is. There's a difference in conditioning for football and basketball, but certainly it helps to transition in from there. Carson, as you look at this season and kind of where you're at right now, what's kind of been the biggest difference so far this season as opposed to last season, maybe?
I would just say player mentality.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this year everybody wants to be there. I think last couple years people had to be there.
Yeah.
And so I think that makes a huge difference on the court because when you want to be there, you want
Yeah.
to, and you want to keep going. And
Yeah.
It just kind of piggybacks off each other, and then you just keep going.
Yeah, of course, we talked about the fact that there's maybe not a ton of history with Danville. I mean, when I was in school, we did get beat by Danville one year. Weston Severance went absolutely ballistic and scored there. But when you look at maybe building this tradition, and I think this is your senior year, right? But for those kids that go behind and say, okay, if you have this successful year here, it's a building block to years to come, how important is that for the tradition for Danville basketball throughout the next couple of years?
I mean, yeah, it's always got to start with one class. One
Yeah.
class has to be the one to kind of start changing things, and then I think once one class does it, it makes it a lot easier for the classes underneath them to just continue that and continue to build and make a program.
Yeah. Wesley, what stood out so far this year? You guys said it's 6-2. You're 4-1 on the KMAC. Only loss was to Fredericktown, who's undefeated right now. Really good basketball team. You guys played them tough there over on the road in Fredericktown. But what stood out in this first half of the season for you guys?
I think like everyone else said, we've kind of been playing a lot up tempo for sure. Like heavy ball pressure, we're gonna get up in your face, we're gonna play hard, we're gonna hustle harder than you, and we're gonna outwork you. So.
And you talk about the transition in from football to basketball. How hard is it from a coaching standpoint, Matt, that you don't have a lot of time and you're trying to build some? Was there some guys that maybe didn't play football that actually did play basketball, or how was the transition for?
I think we had a
basketball?
handful,
Okay,
maybe.
not many.
That didn't.
Yeah.
And then you get the week off, so I think we're in week 5 maybe of the season.
Yeah.
Basketball season. We've been actually.
Yeah.
So you kind of miss all that. So you had to kind of, from my perspective, along with my assistant coaches, discuss, okay, what's the important things we have to get in because we have a week before we play our first game.
Yeah.
And then slowly, as we're moving into the season, keep building on those things,
So you guys sit right now at 6-2. You got the loss to Fredericktown, which again they're undefeated right now. They beat Mount Gilead the other night, who's had a really good start to this season as well. And I know you guys beat them in a close one, that 3-pointer by Ashton and things. And then you lost a close one there to Newark Catholic. And I don't want to just focus on the negative here, but when you look at the two losses, what stood out in those two games where you say, hey, what's the difference? And because those were, especially Newark Catholic, obviously, was a 1-point game. From you guys potentially being 8-0 to being 6-2, some of those things that stood out in those losses, Coach.
Yeah, and I think these guys will agree with that. This is exactly what we talked about: inconsistencies.
Yeah,
we have to limit those. Good teams have shorter spans of time where they're inconsistent in any aspect of the game. So, and that's just something we got to continue to work on.
Yeah.
Whether it's turnovers, whether it's communication on defense, whatever it may be, those inconsistencies have to get less and less as we progress in the season. 'Cause we want to peak tournament time.
Yeah.
So that that's always the goal. So I think those two. I mean, really, that was kind of the issue in both of those. Just little stretches of time where we didn't play as effective as we should have been.
Are you guys in Division 7 for tournament play? Is that what it is? So have a chance to make a run there. For you, Ashton, you look at those two losses. Again, I don't want to just focus on losses here, but you look at those two losses against Fredericktown and Newark Catholic, and we were there for the Fredericktown game. That was a up-tempo game. That was a fun basketball game to be at, honestly. But when you look at the Fredericktown and Newark Catholic games, what stood out to you maybe that the coach mentioned, some of the things that you guys need to improve upon as you go throughout this season?
I think the biggest thing is that they just did better at what we are trying to do. They play up tempo, both those teams do, and I think in both those games they did better than we did, and that's kind of my takeaway from it. Fredericktown, they do the same thing. They press. They run it up the court, and so does Newark Catholic. So That's really my biggest takeaway from it. They just did it better than what we did.
Carson, kind of you echo that sentiment there. What stood out to you in that Newark Catholic and Fredericktown, those matchups?
I think we kind of, at times, some of our turnovers, they would just keep going. So we'd go on a little stretch where we'd have like 3 or 4 turnovers that they would always capitalize on. And I think if we just limited that and took that away from the game, I think both those games would have ended up differently. But, I mean, obviously we didn't, so we just got to fix that.
For you, Wesley, Fredericktown, you lose that one on the road. You still get an opportunity with them at home at a later date there. And the Newark Catholic game was set out in those ones.
I think the main thing in Fredericktown is we kind of got behind, and that kind of hurt us in the long run and kind of put us behind, and we just kept spiraling. But, Newark Catholic, like Ashton said, they were up tempo, so we kind of knew it was going to be kind of like a shootout game. But that kind of helps us improve on defense. I thought we got a lot better on our game against Northmore last week. We only held them to 41 points. So I thought we've been improving, and we get that opportunity against Fredericktown at home, we're going to try and get them there. So.
Yeah, I saw some highlights from the Newark Catholic game, and that was fun. That did seem like it was just a battle. Like you guys would punch, they would punch, and seemed like it was a really good basketball game there. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that game against Northmore, and also your games this week. You play at Loudonville and host East Knox. Also played Lucas, I think, on Saturday, so you got a full week of basketball games. Better than practices, right? But we appreciate the Danville boys basketball team with us here. Coach Matt Proper with some players, and we appreciate them spending some time with us here. Let's take this break. We'll come back. More with the Danville Blue Devils next, WMVO.
Good afternoon. I'm Jacob Reimer. A lot happening in the NFL today as we've reached the end of the regular season and Black Monday is officially here. So far, 6 NFL teams have parted ways with their head coaches, including the Cleveland Browns, who fired Kevin Stefanski today after 6 seasons. Here's Browns general manager Andrew Berry on why the team fired Stefanski.
Coming into this season, we were realistic that, we were a team and a roster in transition. And ultimately, this decision is born from the fact that we've ultimately felt like we did not see enough progress in areas that were controllable, independent of certain game outcomes.
Stefanski coached 101 regular season games as the Browns head coach, which is the most the franchise has seen since 1970. The Browns finished the season 5-12 after they beat the Bengals on Sunday 20-18. Cincinnati announced today that they will be bringing back head coach Zach Taylor for next season. The Bengals finished the year 6-11, missing the playoffs for a 3rd straight season. Other NFL coach firings include the Falcons dismissing Raheem Morris, the Raiders letting go of Pete Carroll, and the Cardinals are out on Jonathan Gannon. College basketball tonight, the Ohio State men's basketball team welcomes in 10th-ranked Nebraska. After starting the season 14-0, the Buckeyes look to hand Nebraska their first loss on the season. Tip-off from the shot is at 6:30. I'm Jacob Reimer, and this is the Ohio News Network.
When you're craving better ingredients and better pizza, Papa John's on Coshocton Avenue delivers. Locally owned by Bill Spitzer, Papa John's is feeding Mount Vernon fresh hot pizza, wings, and those irresistible garlic butter breadsticks. Order tonight from 855 Coshocton Avenue or call 740-397-6644. Carry out, delivery, or order ahead online. Papa John's, locally owned, big flavor, right here in Mount Vernon. 740-397-6644. That's Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Whether it's your home, farm, auto, business, RV, or boat, Griffin Insurance has you covered. Located at 300 Coshocton Avenue in Mount Vernon, we've been protecting what matters most to Knox County for decades. Call 740-397-7488 today and experience the trusted local service you deserve. Griffin Insurance, coverage you can count on from people you know.
This is Lorraine from Buckeye Stoves. It's not too late to purchase a pellet stove and get a free ton of pellets for the winter season. Harmon offers top-of-the-line pellet stoves like the infamous P68. Also, if you have a chimney and need a suite, we do that too. We use nothing but the best with Copperfield products like Home Saver, Rovac, and Duravent to allow your chimney to remain safe, clean, and durable. Stop by our showroom, Buckeye Stoves, on State Route 95 in Fredericktown. Visit us on the web at buckeyestoves.com. Buckeye Stoves, the cozy way to save.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products are how you keep people coming back, and that's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page 1 Group, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-0262 and visit us on Scott Road.
You're listening to the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, brought to you in part by Griffin Insurance, Buckeye Stoves, Page 1 Group, and Papa John's.
All right, we are back here on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Back with you, WMVO Facebook page and on the YouTube channel, as well as on the radio, WMVO. Matt Proper, the head boys basketball coach at Danville. They're 6-2, 4-1 on the KMAC. Lone loss was a road loss to Fredericktown, and they play at Loudonville Tuesday night and host the East Knox Bulldogs Friday, also at home Saturday, so don't miss catching the Danville boys basketball team. I know we're going to see the girls basketball team Saturday afternoon. We'll be in Centerburg for that ball game. But, Coach, you look at the win against the Northmore Golden Knights, and, again, when we look back at the KMAC in football, it was a really good conference in football. And in basketball, there's some teams. I mean, Mount Gilead's way better than they've been in the past, and Northmore's always tough with Blade Tackett's team. So, looking back at that 54-41 win against Northmore, what stood out in that win for you guys is you're able to take down the Golden Knights.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it. The KMAC. I think all sport, it's physical.
Yeah,
I think they're well coached. We have a lot of good teams in there. Northmore's no exception. They can shoot the ball, very similar to us in terms of what I think they want to do. They ran a little more zone. We're more man-to-man matchup type defense, but that was effective for them. Kind of slowed us down, made it a little clunky for us on offense.
Yeah.
But we figured it out. I thought defensively kind of was a key. We got significantly better in the things we wanted to get better and wanted to accomplish that night. Just little things, communication, how we mesh between screens, things like that. So I think from that standpoint, it was a good night. We moved forward from a defensive standpoint.
Yeah. For you, Ashton, what stood out to you there in the one against the Northmore Golden Knights?
I think the biggest thing that stood out to me was our attitude, because we've never beaten Northmore, and to finally get to do it.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest key, is our attitude, especially defensively, because they've always been a good offensive team when we've played them. They've hung some points on us in the past years, but holding them to 41 was definitely a great accomplishment.
If you hold somebody to 41 points in a high school boys basketball game, you give yourself a really good chance to win. I mean, overall, anytime that you can do that, you give yourself a good chance to win. Carson, that game against Northmore, you guys win 54-41. What was kind of the thoughts after that ball game? Some of the things you want to do better, some of the things that you guys say, hey, we did pretty well to win that basketball game.
I mean, obviously, we still got to stop turning the ball over so much. I mean, I think the first quarter we had, 8 turnovers, which, I mean, that's about what you should be having a game.
Yeah.
So I think if we limit that, that'll help a lot of their transition points.
Yeah.
Take that down, which will allow them to score less. And then, I mean, I thought our help side defense was good. I mean, I didn't think they really had too many drives. It was mostly just threes, or they broke through our press. But, I mean, I think we played a pretty solid game all around.
Yeah. And now, do you watch film after the game? Do you go home and watch film?
I mean, I think he mostly does. I usually just go to bed. But...
He's up watching. Hey, can I show you how you missed the switch on this screen here? You can go back to bed now. No, I'm just teasing you. Wesley, looking back at that game against Northmore, 54-41. You guys win. A good conference win for you guys. What stood out to you?
I thought we were a lot more sound defensively.
Yeah.
Like everyone else was talking about. We talked way better. I think in the locker room after we were all talking about each as individuals, we were all saying, hey, that was my best game defensively. I remember I was saying that. I thought it was my best game defensively. So I just thought we all meshed really well. I thought we all talked more than we should have. And, we did a great job.
Yeah, defense travels is what I was always told when I was in high school. Is they said, hey, if you're able to play defense, you got to score some. You can't just not score, but defense certainly travels there. Coach, as you look into this week, you play at Loudonville Tuesday. It's not easy to win on the road. Then you're at home against East Knox and Lucas. What do you want to see your team get better at this week? And what do you look at, and just specifically in the matchup tomorrow against Loudonville? I don't want to jump too far ahead here, but that Loudonville matchup and just overall what you want to see from your team this week.
Yeah, I think I mentioned earlier, just some of those moments of inconsistency.
Yeah.
Trying to limit those a little bit where we kind of lose that momentum and kind of the snowball effect in terms like Carson mentioned with turnovers and things like that. So just getting less and less of those moments. just understanding how important that is with a basketball
momentum.
game, because it's something you want to keep and don't want to give up. So and it's tough to get it back when you lose it. So just kind of understanding that and controlling the game and understanding tempo and how that plays a part in momentum. So just all those little things. Keep building on those fundamentals. Like I said, it's still we're young into the season. I mean, we haven't been in the gym really that long. Compared to other teams. So it's just all those little things. Keep building on those, every night. And like I said, we're a process-driven team. So the scoreboard, if we go out and we do our thing and we outwork them, we look up the scoreboard and it doesn't have to be in our favor, then that is what it is.
Yeah.
We'll learn from it. But so that's the key. Just keep getting better each night.
Yeah. What do you see with this Redbird squad, Loudonville? I know I was talking with Ed Hannebarger a little bit, and he's the football coach there, and likes this squad at Loudonville. What do you see with this Loudonville squad?
Yeah, they got some height. They're scrappy. They're going to be able to shoot the ball a little bit, and they're probably going to run some zone, I'm assuming, from everything I've seen. So we're going to have to kind of figure that out. I feel like zone has kind of slowed us down at times a little bit. So we've been working on that. It's one of those things we got to continue to build our kind of repertoire within going against the zone defense. So like I said, K-Mac's tough through and through, so we'll be ready to go.
Battle tested. I mean, and it's kind of like that for you guys in football. A lot of people said, okay, you guys are an 11 seed, and are they going to be able to do anything? But talk about battle tested, and then you guys go on this run as an 11 seed, and it was an impressive run for the Danville football team, and it was really a fun year there. As you look at the East Knox game on Friday, I want to talk about that just for a moment, though. Is there still that rivalry aspect? I mean, I know, but it's not the same as football. I'm not even going to put it in that category, but with you guys having a pretty good year up to this point, in East Knox just down the road from you guys, is it maybe a rivalry right now, man?
Yeah,
to an extent. I mean, you could be a rivalry with a lot of different teams, I suppose. But
I mean, I think their guys know each other pretty well.
Yeah,
for various reasons.
Yeah,
it's, athletics or academics or whatever it may be. Just seeing each other in Walmart. I don't know, but being that close and being at our place, I think you're always going to. We were talking about earlier those old gyms. We still kind of have that old gym where the crowd's on top of you, and I think it brings a lot of energy. And I think we get a lot of people's best shot because the energy, is pretty high in our gym. So I expect nothing less when East Knox comes over Friday. But we haven't really talked too much about them because we got tomorrow, so we'll get into film and all that on Wednesday.
I wasn't trying to jump too far,
But we'll be ready to rock and roll Friday.
Now I will say before I ask the players' question here. Matt and I were part of one of the greatest moments in the history of Danville when a girls' game was about 70-4 with less than a second to go, and the other team called a full timeout. And at that point, I was like, hey, are we really doing this right now? There was 0.7 seconds left. Stop the running clock. But no, that's something I never forget when we went over there to Danville for that. But it was a great time there. But for you, Ashton, and you look at this week and you take on Loudonville and East Knox, you feel like it's kind of a rivalry with East Knox still, even though it's not football? You want to win every sport, right?
For sure, especially with East Knox. It's definitely a rivalry, especially with it being 10 minutes down the road. It makes it a rivalry. So, I mean, football, it's really physical, and then when it comes to basketball, I feel like it's really physical. That's what a typical rivalry game is. So it definitely for sure is a rivalry.
Yeah. The other night, Danville beat East Knox in girls basketball. I think it was Danville's first win of the year and everything, and they said, starting off the year right, beating East Knox, and it's just how it is, whatever sport it is. Carson, as you look at that matchup with East Knox, and I know I don't want to make you look past Loudonville and things like that, but you feel like it's kind of a rivalry matchup there with the Bulldogs?
I mean, absolutely. I feel personally, no matter who I play, I want to beat them just as bad as anybody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, especially with it being East Knox, I mean, I obviously have a lot of respect for every basketball team, but I think we're going to get their best shot. I mean, there's going to be a lot of fans there. There's going to be a lot of energy, so I just think we just got to come out and play our game.
Yeah, and for you, Wesley, what stands out to you for this week against Loudonville? And then, of course, that almost like a rivalry game there with the East Knox Bulldogs.
Oh, yeah, 100% a rivalry game.
Yeah, there you go. I like it.
100%. Yeah, it's always a great atmosphere, whether we play there or at our place. Yeah, they're going to give us our best shot. We're going to give them theirs.
And you guys are all seniors, right?
Yeah.
All seniors. Yep. Now, I saw, when the schedule got released for Danville football, it just says beat East Knox there on that last one. So you guys all, it's always the same goal every single year. But certainly has been a fun year for Danville boys basketball, and we look forward to being around at some different games and having some fun seeing you guys. And that matchup against Fredericktown, that's going to have to wait because you got games in front of you. I know, Coach, you would even say, we don't worry about any of those other ones. We worry about the ones in front of us here, and it starts with Loudonville on the road tomorrow night. And so go and check that out. And then the home against East Knox Friday, also hosting Lucas on Saturday. What time's that game against Lucas on Saturday? Off the top of your still, yeah,
6 p.m.
yeah. Some people move stuff around a lot more than it used to be. I mean, we're tipping off at 6:15 tomorrow night at Mount Vernon, so you never really know anymore. So, but appreciate you guys joining us here. The Danville Blue Devils 6-2, 4-1 on the KVAC, play at Loudonville Tuesday, host East Knox Friday, and host Lucas on Saturday as well. So appreciate you guys joining us. Best of luck as you go throughout the season. Maybe we'll get you in here again as well. We appreciate you spending some time with us. Thanks to Buckeye Stoves, Griffin Insurance, Papa John's of Mount Vernon, and Page One Group with the mugs here. Matt has 11 of these in his cupboard.
Shooting for a baker's dozen.
Yeah, appreciate you guys joining us here. Let's take this break, come back, talk with the East Knox Bulldogs next, WMV.
Brought to you by Knox County Veteran Services, located at 105 East Chestnut Street, Mount Vernon. Stop in and see us today.
It's 7:27.
When you're craving better ingredients and better pizza, Papa John's on Coshocton Avenue delivers. Locally owned by Bill Spitzer, Papa John's is feeding Mount Vernon fresh hot pizza, wings, and those irresistible garlic butter breadsticks. Order tonight from 855 Coshocton Avenue or call 740-397-6644. Carry out, delivery, or order ahead online. Papa John's, locally owned, big flavor, right here in Mount Vernon. 740-397-6644. That's Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza.
This is Lorraine from Buckeye Stoves. It's not too late to purchase a pellet stove and get a free ton of pellets for the winter season. Harmon offers top-of-the-line pellet stoves like the infamous P68. Also, if you have a chimney and need a suite, we do that too. We use nothing but the best with Copperfield products like Home Saver, Rovac, and Duravent to allow your chimney to remain safe, clean, and durable. Stop by our showroom, Buckeye Stoves, on State Route 95 in Fredericktown. Visit us on the web at buckeyestoves.com. Buckeye Stoves, the cozy way to save.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products are how you keep people coming back, and that's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-0262 and visit us on Scott Road.
Whether it's your home, farm, auto, business, RV, or boat, Griffin Insurance has you covered. Located at 300 Coshocton Avenue in Mount Vernon, we've been protecting what matters most to Knox County for decades. Call 740-397-7488 today and experience the trusted local service you deserve. Griffin Insurance, coverage you can count on from people you know.
WMVO Weather Center forecast.
The temp is 39 degrees under clear skies. The wind is from the south at 2 miles per hour. The forecast for this evening, cloudy with light wind, 32. Overnight, cloud-filled skies with a light breeze, 32. And then tomorrow, it will be overcast with some wind and a chance of some light rain, and the temp 45. That's Storm Track weather on the heart of Knox County, WMVO.
You're listening to the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, brought to you in part by Griffin Insurance, Buckeye Stoves, Page One Group, and Papa John's.
All right, welcome you back here. It is the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, and we appreciate you spending some time with us on the program. And Coach Ryan Powell is with us, East Knox Bulldogs, Kyson Miller, James Grinnell. Appreciate them spending some time with us here today on the program as the East Knox Bulldogs. First time we've got a chance to chat with you guys here. And, of course, Ryan has coached in the senior showcase for us before, and we've had some fun with that. And last year, if I'm correct, it was an East Knox Bulldog that was named the MVP. Briar Korsek was the MVP of the senior showcase last year. Was that a career night for him?
It was. It was.
He couldn't. Were you guys there? Did you guys go to the senior show?
I did go, yeah.
Boy,
I wasn't there to see it, but I
he
heard
was on
about
fire.
it, and Briar was never known for his offense, but a good player that played a lot of good defense. And rebounding, but let it loose that night.
Hey, let it loose. You get hot. What do you do?
Maybe I was holding him back.
You're like, man, I just let him shoot.
Yeah.
No, we had fun with that as well. The East Knox Bulldogs right now sitting at 2-7, 1-3 in the KMAC. But you really look at it, at the season so far. Those were all, for the most part, all close losses. I mean, you guys haven't been getting over here getting blown out or anything like that. But 7 of the losses are by 5 points or 6 points or less, something like that. So, it's a lot of close games here that you guys are at. And you'll play on the road. You got a lot of road games this week, Coach.
Yes.
Playing at Mount Gilead Tuesday, at Danville Friday. This is part of, 4 straight road games? Who made that schedule? Did Scott do that?
That would be Scott Bricker, our former AD.
Scott, that's your fault.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So look at the season so far, Coach. What stood out in the season so far? You're still not at the halfway point to have an opportunity to play some basketball. It's always good when you just get a chance to get on the hardwood and play some basketball. What has stood out so far in this season for the East Knox Bulldogs?
Like you said, a lot of close losses.
Yeah.
Tough losses. 4 games where we've had the lead with a little over a minute to go and just didn't finish those games.
Yeah.
Which are really tough. They've all been learning experiences. But it's tough to start the season out that way because our record, I feel, should be a lot better than it is. But kind of like the old saying goes, I forget what football coach used to say, you are what your record says you are. So, we are 2-7 right now. I feel like we're a better team than that.
Yeah.
But right now, that's what we are. And we're doing some things well, but we got a lot of things to improve.
Yeah. When you look at what you guys want to do, a lot of teams want to get out and run anymore. It wasn't really like that. I remember playing Fredericktown when I was in high school. We're talking 36, 34 games, we were in the 30s playing Fredericktown when I was in high school. That's a long time ago. I got gray hair now. But do you want to get out and run? Do you like to get out and run? Do you want to play in the half court? Or you one of those teams that says, hey, we like to get in transition?
This year's team, I think we are much more accustomed to playing transition. We're scoring a lot more points than we have in the past. Which is good, but our defense really isn't where it needs to be yet. So we're kind of caught in between right now. We're scoring more points, but we're giving up way too many points. In the past, we've had some teams similar to what you said, grinded out teams where we were winning games 45-40.
Yeah.
It's kind of based on the talent that you have, the personnel that you have. I feel like we have more skilled offensive players this year than we have.
Yeah.
We're able to play faster, but we got to incorporate that level of defense, and it needs to step up.
Yeah. For you, Kyson, what year are you in school? Are you a senior?
Yeah, I'm a senior.
Senior year here. What stood out? You've played 9 games at this point, got an opportunity at Mount Gilead Tuesday, at Danville on Friday. What has stood out, some of the positives, some of the things you say, hey, we still need to work on as we are into 2026?
Like Coach said, defense. I feel like that's our biggest thing right now is we're not playing defense to standard that we should be playing. I feel like we're doing a good job offensively, but our defense has been low. We should be playing a lot better on our defensive side than has been so far. And these close games, it's been tough, but we got to pull out these close games. That's the biggest thing, honestly, is the close games. You have to have more of a clutch factor.
James, so what stood out to you so far these 9 games of the season?
We just got to try harder. We just have to bring our game every single game. Our last game, I don't think we really came out there and tried our hardest to win that game. And we just got to bring the defense more. We're lacking on that part right now.
Yeah, you mentioned that right there, and it's kind of a great segue. 74-68, you play Cardington. And when you score 68 points, a lot of times you want to win that basketball game. You should be able to win that basketball game for anybody, for any time. I know I've talked with Nick Kuhn before, and he kind of mentioned that to me before. He said, you know what, if we can get to 60 points or something like that, you feel like you should be able to win a basketball game and things like that. But 74-68 this past Saturday in that game against Cardington. Coach, what stood out to you in that one? You scored a lot of points. That's you guys can certainly score the basketball. We can tell that.
We did, and so we have Weston Mielek, who was
Yep.
one of our former great players,
Yeah.
is helping out coach this year.
Yeah.
He was
On the varsity?
He's a volunteer assistant.
Okay,
on the
cool.
varsity.
Cool.
He was out of town on vacation for the game, and so he returned today for practice. And the first thing he walked up to me, shaking his head, and I said, "Did you ever think there'd be a day we would score 68 points and lose?" He goes, "Coach, if we ever scored 68 points when I played, I wouldn't know what to do. I mean, we never scored that many points.
Yeah.
We had great teams.
Yeah.
But it was just we had played at a slower pace and a better defense back then, and now we got to find that equilibrium of where good offense and transition still continues with good defense. And right now we're just not there. So there's no way we should ever lose a game when we score 68 points.
Yeah.
And all of our kids know that. We talked about that today in practice. I think kind of today's practice, that message was kind of delivered to them a little bit, and we're hoping for better results this week.
Yeah, 68 points is going to win you a lot of games. It
really should.
Yeah, you win a lot of games that way. But in that game, what stood out to you? You lost 74-68. What stood out to you in that one?
Just our inability to keep the basketball in front of us on defense. We just weren't, kind of like James said. I don't know if it was lack of effort, but I don't know. Maybe we took them lightly. We just weren't dialed in to where we needed to be. We have low numbers this year, which has contributed to some of our practices not being that great. We went through a week of sickness, which
that's hard.
Isn't an excuse, but just we haven't had a whole lot of 5-on-5 competitive work in practice, and we lost. I mean, we lost 3 really tough games in a row, where I think 3 games by a total of 5 points, and all 3 games that we should have won. And that weighs on kids.
Yeah, sure.
It weighs on the coaches as well, and but things that we've learned from, and I think it's going to make us better later in the season.
Yeah, that is difficult for especially like a high school kid. It's in your head, and it's like, okay, we've been in this situation, and now it's once it's happened, and now it's twice it's happened, now it's 3 times it happens, and it makes it really difficult.
Yeah, and they were all 3 in about 5 days, I believe. So there wasn't a whole lot of practice time to recover. It was a lot of watching film and talking about it, but that doesn't necessarily correlate to being in the gym and trying to fix things on the court. So we're trying to fix things on the fly, and it was a bad week.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Yeah, we got a chance this week to get right back at it, go over to Mount Gilead, and then go over to Danville on Friday as well. But Kyson, you look at that Cardington-Lincoln game, 74-68. Obviously, the offense was pretty good in that ball game. What stood out to you in that game, 74-68?
Defense, keeping the ball in front of us.
Yeah.
One dribble, one step, and they beat us every time. And it was just, I feel like effort and attitude wasn't the best that it should have been, but it was a disappointing loss.
Yeah.
I'm not very satisfied by it.
James, that game against Cardington, what did you take away from that?
They didn't win a game before that, so I just think they came in there and just wanted more than us. They just tried their hearts out. They just wanted to go get a win against us, and they got that.
Yeah. Coach, when you get to this period here where it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's a weird period when it's the Christmas season because, you got the Christmas and kids are not in school. They're not really in a routine. I was talking to somebody about routines and the importance of routines and stuff. How hard is it for you to coach these kids when you're kind of out of routine and then playing basketball games and they're not going to school and they're able to sleep in? And how difficult is it during that period of time?
I think as a coach, it's very challenging, and I think probably even more so for the players. I mean, it's been my understanding when I was a player and multiple years of coaching that kids really value that routine of practice being similar times every day and not having days off during the week. I know a lot of times kids think how hard practice is, but I think they value the importance of practice and working on the fundamentals. And a couple of days off here and there and a couple of days of low numbers can kind of get you out of your routine.
Yeah, I knew about the routine situation with my kids this morning, and I'm trying to get them back into school, and it's just it can't. I mean, you're in school, you go to class, and then you go to practice, or you go to a game and things like that, and it can certainly move things around there. We're going to talk about the games coming up this week at Mount Gilead, at Danville. Looking forward to catching up about those games. But we do want to thank Griffin Insurance, our Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Thanks to Buckeye Stoves as well, Papa John's of Mount Vernon, and Page One Group with the mug. And Ryan, just like Matt, also has 11 of these in his cupboard. But appreciate you guys joining us here. And we're going to talk some more about East Knox basketball. Take this break, come back, more coming up.
Temperature is brought to you by
Knox County Veteran Services, located at 105 East Chestnut Street, Mount Vernon. Stop in and see us today.
It's 7:41.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products are how you keep people coming back, and that's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-0262 and visit us on Scott Road.
When you're craving better ingredients and better pizza, Papa John's on Coshocton Avenue delivers. Locally owned by Bill Spitzer, Papa John's is feeding Mount Vernon fresh hot pizza, wings, and those irresistible garlic butter breadsticks. Order tonight from 855 Coshocton Avenue or call 740-397-6644. Carry out, delivery, or order ahead online. Papa John's, locally owned, big flavor, right here in Mount Vernon. 740-397-6644. That's Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza.
This is Lorraine from Buckeye Stoves. It's not too late to purchase a pellet stove and get a free ton of pellets for the winter season. Harmon offers top-of-the-line pellet stoves like the infamous P68. Also, if you have a chimney and need a suite, we do that too. We use nothing but the best with Copperfield products like Home Saver, Rovac, and Duravent to allow your chimney to remain safe, clean, and durable. Stop by our showroom, Buckeye Stoves, on State Route 95 in Fredericktown. Visit us on the web at buckeyestoves.com. Buckeye Stoves, the cozy way to save.
Whether it's your home, farm, auto, business, RV, or boat, Griffin Insurance has you covered. Located at 300 Coshocton Avenue in Mount Vernon, we've been protecting what matters most to Knox County for decades. Call 740-397-7488 today and experience the trusted local service you deserve. Griffin Insurance, coverage you can count on from people you know.
WMVO Weather Center forecast.
The temp is 39 degrees under clear skies. The wind is from the south at 2 miles per hour. The forecast for this evening, cloudy with light wind, 32. Overnight, cloud-filled skies with a light breeze, 32. And then tomorrow, it will be overcast with some wind and a chance of some light rain. And the temp 45. That's Storm Track weather on the heart of Knox County, WMVO.
You're listening to the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, brought to you in part by Griffin Insurance, Buckeye Stoves, Page One Group, and Papa John's.
All right, welcome you back here, Griffin Insurance, Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Thanks for joining us here. And once again, thanks to East Knox Boys Basketball for joining us here. Ryan Powell, the head boys basketball coach, Kyson Miller, and James Grinnell. We thank you guys for joining us here on this Monday night. And we've been off for a couple of weeks. I'm glad to have you guys back in here as well. But, Coach, when we think about the team overall, people say, is this a young team? Is this an inexperienced team? You got a couple of seniors here, and I think you got one more too. But what do you see with this team in terms of the makeup of it with this group?
We have 3 seniors this year that are all providing some pretty good leadership, but Kyson, of those 3 seniors, is the only one with a whole lot of varsity minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton Hall, who's a sophomore, got some time last year, so we're pretty inexperienced coming into the season. The good thing with James and Jackson Crawford, who's another one of our seniors, they're both 4-year players, been in our program, haven't had a whole lot of varsity minutes, but they've been a part of things and understand what's going on. So we got kind of a mix of young and older players, but at the same time, it's been a growing experience for some of our guys, now getting a lot more varsity time.
Yeah. With the game against Utica, I want to talk about that just for a moment. That ball game, 75-49, what stood out in that one? I know you've played them recently. What stood out in that ball game against Utica?
We just didn't play well in that
game. That happens. Yeah.
We had an off night, offensively and defensively. They did some things that made us uncomfortable. A little bit of a trapping situation that we didn't handle very well. But we've probably had of our 7 losses, we played poorly for a half in the first loss against Ridgewood, first game of the year, and then Utica we just didn't play well. But Utica had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's just the talent and they play well.
Just wasn't our night. We didn't play well. I think they played well, and just a combination for a poor game.
Yeah, Kyson, your thoughts on that Utica game?
They played better than us.
Yeah, just like Coach said.
Yeah, just like Coach said, they played better than us, and I feel like we didn't go into that game prepared, honestly, because like everyone seemed lazy, just not playing good defense.
Yep.
I mean, they scored, what was it, 75?
75, yeah.
76, 75?
Yeah.
And we should have just played that game better defensively and offensively, and it would have just wasn't a good overall.
And James, your thought on that thoughts on that game?
Yeah, just like Carrington, I just don't think we played our game really well. That was over break, so I'm questioning if kids got good sleep that night because we just didn't come out there and play how we normally do and how good our team actually is.
Coach, you got Mount Gilead on the road Tuesday, at Danville on Friday, and we talk about the fact that you got those 4 straight road games, and we kind of joke about it a little bit, but that's tough. I mean, that's kind of difficult to play on the road for 4 straight games there, but starting on Tuesday against Mount Gilead, what do you see with the Mount Gilead Indians and that matchup for you guys?
I think Mount Gilead's a very good team. A lot of good returning players. Probably one of the better players in the league. I think they're definitely one of the better coach teams in the league. I think Nate does a very good job with them last couple of years. And we've got our hands full going over there tomorrow night. We're going to have to play well to compete with them. But I think offensively we're in a good space. But defensively it's going to be whether we can stick with them or not.
No. When you look at that team, are they a defensive type team? Are they a team that likes to get out and run? What do you see with them?
I think they're pretty well balanced. I wouldn't say they get out and run a lot, but they score the ball very well. They're a very efficient team offensively. Pretty good mix of inside and out. Some kids that play really hard, and a lot of good things when you watch them on film.
Yeah, Mike Reed had a great season for Mount Gilead football, and they had a great run. I didn't realize their basketball team was having as much success until the other night when I saw them taking on Fredericktown. So the KMAC is competitive. I mean, we were just talking with Matt about that as well. Like, it's tough night in and night out. There's not really a team on there. I mean, Loudonville's struggled a little bit this year to this point, but I mean, the KMAC is a really good conference. Usually year in and year out.
I agree. I think, like I said, there's a lot of good coaches in the league, a lot of well-coached, and kids that just play hard and pretty consistent night in and night out. It's hard to win in the league, especially on the road.
Yeah.
If you don't play well, you're going to get beat.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the Centerburg game. I don't mean to bring that one up, but I know it was a close one right at the end. And I wasn't there, but kind of heard, that they hit a game-winning shot and things. But another close one, another tough loss there.
Yeah, I think we had a 4-point lead with maybe a little over a minute to go in that game, and a couple of missed free throws. They made a 3, and we just didn't finish it off. So, like I said, we had that 3-game stretch there and they were all 3 road games.
Yeah.
Actually, this is going to be our second stint this year of playing 4 games in a row.
That's crazy.
We've already played 4 games in a row on the road. Had a home game against Cardington on Saturday. So we went 4 road games.
So 8 out of 9?
8 out of 9 have been on.
Wow.
They're going to be on the road. So,
wow. That's tough.
That's very tough.
Because you kind of can reset when you go back home, right, Ryan? I mean, to an extent, it's a familiar environment. You can kind of reset a little bit if you're struggling.
I think Kyson would definitely agree that he shoots quite a bit better in our home gym, which is common for most guys. But so we had 4 games in a row on the road, 1 home game, and now we're back on the road for 4 more. So it's going to make us tougher and better at the end of the year.
Yeah. Kyson, as you look at this week, at Mount Gilead, at Danville, what do you want to see from yourself, and from your teammates as you go throughout this week?
Mount Gilead's a tough team. We're going to have to rebound well, pressure them well, play our game, push the ball, and just stop them. They're a good offensive team.
Yeah.
And me personally, like Hal said, I kind of hope I shoot better on the road.
Yeah.
I have been struggling, to be honest, on the road to shoot this year.
Yeah.
I think I'm making just a little over a quarter percentage from 3, and that's not.
Yeah.
I should be up. I mean, at home I'm shooting a lot better than that, but.
Is there a reason for that? You kind of just just comfort level?
To be honest, yeah, I do feel better.
Yeah.
I feel more confident at home.
Yeah.
And that's just on me. I gotta pick that up a little bit. I think I am. I'm not sure what it is, but I think I'm over 45% at home. So
Yeah.
I'm shooting a lot better at
Yeah.
home than I am. And yeah, that's just on me.
Yeah, and for you, James, what do you want to see from this team this week as you take on Mount Gilead and Danville?
I want us to play more as a team. Just come out there and play great defense because these are two good teams. We gotta be on our A game for defense and bring it to them. Like, try to punch them in the mouth a little bit and get started off hot at the start and finish it.
We appreciate you guys joining us here. Now, I was asking Danville a little bit about. Do you guys feel it's kind of the rivalry? You think that, guys? You look
100%.
Okay,
yeah.
so you both agree with that. You feel like that rivalry.
It's a rivalry.
Yeah, so you still got the rivalry. You play there Friday night at Danville, and Coach, is that a regular game? A 7:15 tip? Is that what you understand?
Yeah, this week's going to be regular.
Yeah. Both games there. So you think it's a rivalry there? They said something that when the girls. Danville girls beat East Knox, and East Knox girls, they beat Centerburg and things. But when Danville, it was kind of like a rivalry type thing because they were like, well, opening the year with a win. But you feel like it's a rivalry?
I do think it's a rivalry. I'm not from East Knox or Danville. I'm not from the area, so I didn't grow up with it. Kind of like I believe.
You're not from Knox County?
Not from Knox County. I know Coach Proper is a Danville guy, but I mean, I've picked it up.
Yeah.
In being here now for 10 years,
Yeah.
it's a pretty big rivalry. Personally, I think every team
sure.
in the leagues is a rival.
Yeah.
But it's different when we play Danville. The community, you definitely get a different vibe from them. When we play them at home or on the road, you see people at the game that you don't normally see at other games.
Yeah.
So I think it does mean more, and I think that rubs off onto the players. It's always a pretty big crowd, and there's bragging rights involved. Last couple of years, it's kind of been back and forth. I think we won both games last year, lost both games the year before.
Yeah.
But new year, new challenge. I know Danville's a very good team, very well coached. So
Yeah.
we're going to have to play well.
Yeah. The opportunities this week on the road, and as you mentioned, 8 out of 9 on the road. A tough run for you guys, but opportunity to play some games this week. It's always good to get back on the hardwood and do that. Where'd you play basketball though when you were in school?
I'm actually from Barnesville, Ohio.
Barnesville,
which,
okay.
Southeastern Ohio.
Yeah.
In between Cambridge.
Now do some
and St.
baseball
Clairsville.
games.
Yeah.
Barnesville played Predator.
Good
huh?
baseball and football school. Basketball lately, not so much.
Yeah.
But had some good years.
Yeah.
Pretty good. It's similar size school to East Knox, so I'm pretty comfortable there. But so I'm not from the area, but I've been here now for 10 years. So kind of a transplant, I guess, at this point.
There you go. We're going to get Ryan in here again. Talk some East Knox Bulldogs basketball as the season goes on, and appreciate the players, Kyson Miller, James Grinnell, for joining us as well. Best of luck this week as you take on Mount Gilead and Danville on the road. You guys just need to get the hotel room or something. Just stay on the road anymore. Huh?
Yeah, I have to give a shout out to our guy Chuck Mielek, who's a bus driver. We've been spending a lot of time with Chuck lately. On the bus, and I know you probably know Chuck.
Oh,
he,
yeah.
He does a great job of getting us everywhere. Never met a stranger anywhere he's ever been.
Yeah.
He makes us feel pretty at home wherever we go.
We love it. Yeah, Chuck's a great guy. He won a contest on a Friday night on Sports Roundtable, and then he sent it to me and Brian to go eat. So he's a great guy. But certainly looking forward to East Knox Bulldogs getting back in action this week at Mount Gilead, at Danville. Go support them. Thanks to Coach Ryan Powell for joining us. We'll get him back in here as well. Thanks to Kyson Miller and to James Grinnell for joining us as well. And thanks to Danville for joining us at the beginning of the program. We're going to be back for another show next week. We're going to have Utica and Mount Vernon boys basketball in the program, so join us for that. And don't forget that tomorrow night we are actually going to be in Mount Vernon for the girls basketball game, as they will take on Newark Catholic, and that's a pregame at 6 p.m. on WMVO. Want to thank our title sponsor, Griffin Insurance. Thanks to Buckeye Stoves, Papa John's of Mount Vernon, and Page One Group with the mugs. Make sure you guys get a mug. You don't have to worry about getting a mug. But no, appreciate you guys spending some time with us. That'll do it for the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Thanks for joining us here on WMVO.
From Buckeye Stoves, it's not